Good morning, Keller Williams. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. And I am so excited to have Winnie Paris with me this morning. And you guys know Winnie, but there may be some of you that don't. Winnie's got an office here in the office. And we've known each other for now 4 years, right?
Yes,
I can't
yes.
believe it's been 4 years that Winnie got through the licensing process.
Woo.
And a little fun fact, and you know what I'm probably going to say, a little fun fact is Winnie passed the timeshare exam for real estate without taking any classes around timeshare simply by accident. So,
Yes, because I went to take my real estate and they gave me the timeshare. So
yeah.
I mean that happened.
but you passed. So that's the fun part too. So, I guess I don't know what you can do with that. If you can go back later, it's probably expired by now. But anyway, so listen, I appreciate you joining me. I thought we would talk a little bit about you for a moment, and what got you into real estate.
What got me into real estate? As an adult, I have never had a job longer than 2 years, ever. When I was in the Navy, my chief told me I have a problem with people in a position of authority. Me, of all people. And I just kind of looked at him like, what? And so as I've grown older and looked back, I didn't like for people to tell me what to do.
Okay, I have a little bit of that inside.
And so being an entrepreneur just seemed natural. I
Yeah.
could make my own time. I could do what I want to do, when I want to do, how I want to do. Because with my kids, my husband, I still want to be able to be present in those important
Right.
moments. So coming into real estate, my husband planted that seed probably 7, 8 years ago. And at the time, I wasn't in the headspace to do that.
Yeah.
I was doing so many other things. I was being a full-time mom, and I was like, sounds good, but I don't think so. So what I considered a change in life, I hit a certain age. I was like, I'm starting over. And I was like, I'm going to do this real estate thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to take the test. And I mean, as you mentioned, I took the real estate test the first time, and I failed by 2 points. So went scheduled to do it again and went to the timeshare test. And I was like, this test doesn't feel the same as the other one, but whatever.
Right, just go with it.
Just go with it. I mean, I'm new to this. And then I ended up taking the test again, and I passed. And so here I am. And I love it. I love what I do.
Well, first of all, thank you for your service
Thank you.
as a veteran in the Navy. And I'm sure you had a lot of transferable skills from that experience translating into running your own business,
Yes.
for sure.
Time blocking. That
Okay.
is huge. If my whole family knows if it's not on the calendar, it does not exist. So me being real timely, being early, because if you're on time, you're late. So being early, making sure my calendar reflects my day. I control my day instead of my day controlling me. So
Right.
that's something I learned early on in the military. I mean, they get you up early and they want to,
yeah.
your day just goes. And so learning that, that's one of the things I feel really impacted me in business, because now I know how to run my business as a well-oiled machine.
No, I think that's a lot of in life and under the military's discipline that way. It's like the book Make Your Bed, right? You get up and you do all the things you feel accomplished. You're already up and you
Yep.
can do the things that matter most in your day, for sure. So that shaped your experience with real estate as well. So I gotta ask, because everyone is like across the hall. We've got your office, okay? And when you came in, you were figuring out your real estate business, and you decided that you were going to brand. You needed a brand.
Yes.
So tell us about your brand.
I'm yellow. I am the realtor in yellow. So anyone you encounter and ask, hey, who's the real estate agent in yellow, they will always tell you me. There are thousands of us here in Hamilton County, Chattanooga area.
Right.
I needed to make me stand out. We all ultimately do the same thing, but what makes me different? And I do have a degree in marketing and entrepreneurship, so that kind of helped. And when I started, my sponsor here, she has a color. So
Yes,
all,
she did.
so all of that played a part. So I'm like, what color can represent me? I had a long yellow sundress that I wore it one day. And oddly enough, it was to an event for my daughter. And I was walking from the parking lot to the event space. And people were stopping me, complimenting me on the dress. It was just a comfortable yellow sundress. And I was like, it's something to this.
Yeah.
And every time I wore yellow, people would notice it. So it just became a thing. It made sense. And I mean, because it's bright, it's rememberable, and it just fit me. So I'm the realtor in
Well,
yellow.
I mean, I like that. And then you were looking at people coming up and noticing you. And I have to say, when you started that process of adding the branding color to your business, I personally, when I was out on my personal time, when I would see something that was yellow, I would think of you. I absolutely would. So, and you see others doing that, but not everyone does. And not everyone picks yellow.
Right.
Like, I've seen some others, different colors and pieces. And for them, that's what they use on all their marketing. And I even have noticed your family wearing it.
Yes. My youngest, he'll go to closings with me and showings and things
Yeah.
of that nature, and he'll have on yellow.
Right.
Although his favorite color is green, he will put on
Okay.
yellow to appease mom. Like all of my kids, my husband, when we're out and about, especially
Right.
if it's business related, they know they have to be part of the brand.
They have to be part of the plan. Because God, family, and business and family is a big part of your life. And, now tell me, have you had someone else, like I've told you, I see yellow, I think of Winnie. Have you had clients and customers do the same?
100%.
Yeah.
I go to a rather large church here, and I do the welcome, and I wear yellow on stage, and it's because it's just normal. And anytime I don't have on yellow, people will be like, "Winnie, you look different. You didn't have on yellow today. I didn't recognize you."
Yeah.
It's because last Sunday I did the welcome, and I had on a pink shirt and some jeans because it's one of our church branded shirts. Everybody's like, this is just different. They didn't like it. But I'm fortunate that our church does have a yellow shirt, like their brand. I go to Christway.
Yeah.
And Love is Why is our church.
Yeah.
There's the yellow Love is Why shirt, and it's called the Winnie. And so I do have a yellow.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? That made my day. That
Yes.
absolutely made my day. That the church has now named their branded church shirt the Winnie.
Yes, the yellow one is the Winnie.
So you get to tell everybody what they're wearing that day. Like, we're wearing the Winnie today. Well, okay. So, and you're focusing on, church is church, and it's also your sphere. It's
Huge part.
the people that love you and trust you and know you. I love it. You've done a great job with that, by the way. And because you've been consistent with it, and that's that consistency training. You have that discipline. And so your marketing and all the things have that. Now, I mean, you also have your home girl.
Yes.
That's part of your brand as well.
Yes. That came from, it was cute. It was a tagline that I was like, how do I want to be known? Because, a realtor. And your homegirl, like your HOME, like
Right.
I'm your friend that can also help you find a home.
Right.
So it's all encompassing. So that's where it came from.
Well, and you've been consistent. Like, when did you implement your brand? Like, how long were you in real estate before you decided that you were going to add the color brand to you and your logo?
I was there probably my first 3 to 6 months.
Okay, very quickly you put it together, and you know what, you had some mentoring around that with someone in the office that was also doing that at a high level and using social media.
Yes, yes. And I look at, surround yourself with people who you, like for me, I tell so many people with my business, I am surrounded by some very successful people in this business. And that's intentional because I want to learn this business at the best capacity that I can, right? So having her around me and just seeing how she did it. And then I'm like, okay, I can take that and add yellow to it.
Right.
And when I see other people doing different marketing things, I can figure out how I can do that and make it yellow. Whether it's I do coffee for the teachers at my son's school, I do coffee and donuts. There's some people that run a whole coffee truck. I'm like, I don't want to rent a whole coffee truck, but I can go to Dunkin' or Starbucks and get coffee and make it yellow.
Okay.
So that's how I do. That's how I think about things.
Okay, so I like that. So you're looking at the whole picture, but you have to make it yellow, and then you add your creativity to what that system is. I like that. I was thinking of donuts with yellow icing.
I do that.
Okay. Well, you know what? I love the simplicity and the brilliance of making sure that everything is branded, because it's just like, Kleenex has done a wonderful job of us having that every tissue is Kleenex, even though it isn't. Right?
Right.
Like we say that every soda is not Coke.
Sally.
I wish. We already talked about that this morning, about I get upset if I'm going to a hotel and it's a Pepsi hotel. Anyway, but you know what? We have a few places in our brain for brand awareness. Only a couple, not 7.
Correct.
And agents need to be in the couple.
Correct.
The 2 or 3 of those for sure. So, what is something that has really shaped your success in these past 4 years?
Consistency.
Okay.
Nurturing my sphere. The people who, what's for me is for me, right? So the people who know me will utilize me, and because they know me. So being consistent, nurturing my sphere. I like to send out cards, birthday cards, just because cards, thinking of you cards. I like to do handwritten letters.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that we learned early on in real estate, I still implement those things. I like to do, before Thanksgiving, pies. I learned it from another set of realtors here.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
telling
there's
you,
a lot of pie giveaways sometimes around that time over here.
I'm telling you, I learn from people.
Yeah.
I do my pies. I do pop buys. I'll just pop by different places and just be like, hey, this is for you. Because people like to be thought about. So it's
Right.
just those things. I find ways to make people feel like they matter because they do. And it's not coming from a place of, I'm a realtor. It's coming from a place of value. How can I add value? I'm also a person that most people that know me, if they're like, oh, what's a good restaurant? I can refer you to a good restaurant. I need a plumber. I need a roofer.
Right.
I'm a source. I'm a great source to help you. And so because I really started before real estate, I was just naturally, hey, I know a guy, I know a lady. Like that was just natural.
Right.
So I just used that in my business. If you need somebody, hey, I can connect you with this person or that person. So all of those things help my business because people know that they can trust me.
Right.
I'm going to do good business. I'm honest. I'm reliable. So those things matter.
And I'm sure you made all of that yellow. And I was just thinking, and you know what I heard you say, I mean, because we've had a lot of different conversations, that people that you are authentically you. So the people that work with you, they know you, love you, and you have that open, I'm Winnie.
Yes.
Right, I'm Winnie, and I love that you come from that.
I'm going to show up in every space
Yeah.
and be me.
Yeah.
I may show up with 6-inch stilettos on one day, some Jordans another day. It may be a sundress. It may be anything, just depending
Yeah.
on how I feel that moment. I may show up to a showing with a kid in tow. You're going to get me. I may show up in athletic gear because I'm on my way to Pilates. But you're going to get that from me because that's who I am. I'm Winnie, who's a realtor, not a realtor who's Winnie. So that makes a difference for me.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you meet me and I have on a suit and my hair is done a certain way, my makeup is done a certain way, a lot of people will expect to see that every encounter with you. I don't want to set that false impression. I'm realistic. I set realistic expectations. You're going to see me as a person. You may see a hoodie. You may see a t-shirt. You may see some shorts, but that's who I am.
Now, do you set that up on the front end? I mean, you say you do a lot of business with people that already know you, love you, and trust you. So your sphere, they know you. Do you have to set those expectations up, or they already know you?
I'm showing up as me.
Yeah.
So they're going to get the energy before they really pay attention to what is packaged in. You're going to walk in. I've learned that I'm a big energy when I walk in spaces. So you're going to get that first. And then you're going to pay attention to what it's wrapped in. Whether that's...
Well, I really am digging that. The energy's first and their packaging is second.
Yes.
Well, people are attracted to energy. You know, they really are, and some need energy in their lives. So, energy is a magnet.
And I've learned that, like real estate,
Yeah.
because I'm grateful because I have to plug. Stephen Sharp
Yeah.
was amazing. I tell everybody he was my bestie. I had a big energy then, and he would always try to help me navigate that. And that's how I ended up being a part of the Greater Chattanooga Realtor Association,
Yeah.
the board, because he was like, they need this. We need some changes. We need to see something different. So he pushed that energy in that direction.
And you went through Leadership Academy, right?
Yes, I
All right.
did. And
Yeah.
they tell you need to be in business at least 2 years.
Okay.
And I think I was a little shy of 2 years when I did my application. But yes.
And so that Stephen Sharp pushing that through was helpful. And I know you guys had a good banter back and forth because I remember, because, you know, if Stephen didn't tease you, like you knew you were in if Stephen was teasing you, okay? And I know you guys had that relationship, but only because he was very direct and you are too. Like on the disc profile, you were a D, right? You
Yes.
roll in. And so you were able to candidly have some conversations, and he was giving you candid
Yes.
or candor around the energy, but he also saw value in that with going and being in the Leadership Academy as well.
Correct.
Right? Very good. So you've got the military background, the Leadership Academy. You said you have a degree in the marketing and the business piece that helps you with business. So there's a lot there that lends to your success on being a capper and staying in the business, right? So,
Yes.
So let me ask, what challenges, excuse me, what challenges do you see agents facing currently, and what challenges have you had to overcome during your career?
Right now I'm seeing homes been on the market longer. And that's depending on when you came into business, because I'm 4 years in business. I'm still newer in my mind, right? Homes haven't always sat that long.
No, you got in it when it was like speed dating with sellers, right?
My first listing, we were on the market 2-3 days.
Wow.
And we received like 7 offers.
Yeah.
Over asking, like it was crazy. And we ended up closing cash in 14 days. So now when homes are sitting on the market 30,
Yeah.
45 days, it's kind of scary. Knowing where to find buyers, knowing where to find sellers, having those conversations with people, knowing how to come from a place of, hey, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a pushy person. I'm just letting you know I'm here and I'm available if you need my services. I can do more than just help you sell and buy a home. I can also educate you. So I think that's something that a lot of agents that I'm having conversations with now, they're struggling with. This isn't always a season of, oh, you're selling consistently and all things are going, but you can educate yourself and you can educate your people. Not just, I don't call my people clients, I call them my peeps. These are my peeps. These are my people. Use yourself as an educational tool. Do the trainings for yourself. Do your CE hours. Go to the association and see what classes they have. Go on NAR, see what classes they have that you can make yourself better, sharpen your iron,
Right.
so that you can sharpen the people around you.
Because it sounds like you've been doing that all this time, through the seasons of the changes that you've gone through and how business has changed while you're in it.
Yes.
You're always looking for people to talk to that are in business around you, asking them great questions, and seeing how that can serve you in business as well.
100%.
Yeah.
Even when, like, in slower seasons, like fourth quarter, I'm using that time to do additional CE. I'm in the office and asking questions. When I first started my business, and anybody will tell you, I was a full-time student at UTC, but I would sit out here in the kitchen, and I would sit at the counter, and I'd do my UTC homework. But people would stop, and I'd talk to them. And they talked to me, and I started asking questions. So I tell all the newer agents that come to me, come in the office. Be here, be present, ask questions. Even if you don't know what questions to ask, a lot of these people here are experienced, they're seasoned. They can help you. So that makes a difference.
Yeah, and they may lead with questions as well. I know if you're in the building, whenever that could be, because agents are not always just in here Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. Like, it's a lot of times after hours, and a lot of seasoned agents are in here after hours. And you learn so much just from listening to conversations, too, that happen in the main area, especially at the tech
Yes.
counter. What somebody's going through, how things are falling apart and they're putting them back together. Like, there's something happening in conversations wherever you are.
I would sit in rooms with other agents. I would ask, hey, can I shadow you? Can I go on showings with you? Can I
Right.
do an open house for you? Just asking those questions so that I could sharpen myself.
Right.
Listening to what they were talking about, because I may not have experienced it, but in the future I may. Because this is real estate. Things are always, it's different, but it's the same. We all use the same documentation. We're all buying and selling a property, a home, land, whatever that is. So what you experience today, I may encounter that later. I can learn something from that.
Right.
And so
Right.
I'm always in a learning space. I can learn something from anybody, good, better, and different. I can learn. And it's what I do with that knowledge that helps my success.
Right. Well, and also you weren't intimidated or afraid, because I know that's not in your DNA, and that could also be your military background also, right? Your training to ask to go in and be like, "Hi, I'm Winnie. Can I do that? Can I do open house? Can I shadow you?" I think a lot of newer licensees are intimidated to talk to producing agents, and producing agents are just doing their thing, right? They are moving and grooving, and they are not going to call you. You can't be at home
Right.
and think that they're going to call and go, "Hey, do you want to come to an open house?" Like, they might, but they're doing their thing, right? And by coming in and them seeing you and hearing you and you being like, "Hey, I'm here," that really served you well.
It did, and it still does.
And they were open. You've got to make the first step, right?
And I did it.
Right.
And scared, not knowing what I was
Do
doing.
it scared. Do it scared.
Yes. And because I'm not originally
Yeah.
from here.
Okay.
So walking into this building, walking
Right.
into this space, and be like, "Hey, I'm here." Now
Yeah.
it's up to me. Do I want to have my real estate business as a bill? Or do I want it to be successful? Do I want
That's
it to
a
pay for
great
itself?
one. It's a great way to look at that.
I mean, I looked at if I'm doing showings.
Yeah.
And if I'm being paid for these showings, that will help pay for my Supra. That will help pay for my office fees before I had a physical office in here.
Right.
Like, so it would help pay for those things. How can I counteract that bill that I know I have
Right.
to pay every month? If I'm not getting deals done, because it took me 3 to 5 months before I closed my first deal. But if I'm not getting deals done, how else am I going to pay for this? I don't
Right.
want it. I didn't come into this thinking, "Oh, I'm just going to let this be a bill in my home and take away from my kids and my husband." I came into this, "Hey, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it at a high level, whatever I consider a high level, right? Because
Right.
what's high for me versus what's high for you or the next person."
Right. It's your story.
Right.
Right, in your business. Well, and I think I like that. And you were also going to UTC for your degree in business management and marketing, right?
Sally came to my graduation.
I did. I mean, I didn't. I had forgotten about that. And then the other day, I was thinking when we were going to have this conversation, and I knew that you had gone through Leadership Academy as well. So you're a lifelong learner. Everything that you went through UTC, I know you're super proud of that accomplishment, and that leans into where you are successful in real estate.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I think all of that lends into where you are, and you're not afraid. I like do it scared,
Yes.
because in the military, you really have to do a lot of things scared, right?
A ton.
All the time. You've exercised that habit, and it's part of how you're wired. And you know what? I love that. And again, thank you for your service through that. Now, your husband was in the military also, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And now you met in the military.
Yes.
Okay. And you have how many children?
3.
3 children. So you've got a lot to manage, a lot, and coming here not knowing anyone, that also happens with new licensees a lot. I hear the fear words. I don't know anyone. I'm going to have to I don't have people, and that was do it scared.
Yes, 100%.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
I'm not a Chattanooga native.
Yeah.
And coming not just into this building, coming into this industry, coming
Yeah.
into Chattanooga, I'm not a native. So people normally like people that they're comfortable with, people they've built relationships and things of that nature. So I had to figure out how to be intentional about my tribe, about
Yeah.
the people that I surround myself with.
Right.
So that's what it is.
Well, and tell us, I mean, I'm just really camping on this do it scared, okay? So tell me, when you have your first thought, because you do, we're all human, tell us how you process that when something comes up to you, when you are faced with something and your first thought is the negative things, the things that are going to hold you back. Tell us what that looks like. How do you process that?
Okay, I'm a huge advocate for therapy.
Okay.
Okay. So overcoming those unrealistic expectations, those limiting beliefs, because if I'm encountering something like, "Oh, I can't do this," well, why am I thinking that? What
Okay.
has put that thought in my mind? No, that's not real. Until you actually try it, you can't say, "Oh no, I can't do this." You're limiting yourself. You've already told yourself no, and how does that serve you?
Right. Well, and the thing is, the things that you're saying, you've said a lot of things that have come from bold, But what you just said about until I do that, I won't know what's possible is actually in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book.
Yes, I read that every year.
Yes, it's one of the myth understandings that people say, oh, that won't work in my market, right? Well, until you try something, you don't know. So I love that, and that thought process. I thought maybe somebody out here watching might have some of those roadblocks that hearing you say that you've already done that, you've been there, and how you overcome it could be helpful for them today.
I agree. And for me, I'm a reader. I love to read. Audio books kind of make it easier too, but I love to read. So Eat the Frog was a huge help for me. No Energy Vampires. MREA book. And what else? Make Your Bed. All those books are in constant rotation for me. MREA, I read every year in August. That's my year mark. So every August, I read it. And it's because it helps me. And it helps with those fears.
Right.
Because we're human, right?
Exactly.
The market is ever changing. The industry is ever changing. So knowing, hey, this is my foundation.
Right.
This is where I can sit in this and be like, okay, this is real.
Right.
And go from there. Because the fears creep in. Every year, like I said, I've never held a job longer than 2 years. And because my family knows that about me, when my 2 years was rolling around in real estate, they're like, are you sticking this out? And I'm like, yes. So now I'm doubling my 2 years. I'll be 4 years this year.
There you go.
So it's still that, okay, what does this look like for me? What am I doing? What am I taking away? What am I adding? The self-evaluations and things like that are coming up. And I have to be real and honest with myself when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because this business is me. It's how I show up in the world. It's how people perceive me, whether their perception is real or not.
Right.
That's what it is. And those things can bring fears because am I going into another year of business? Well, why wouldn't I? So understanding that, and I'm huge on my affirmations. I have my kids all have their own affirmations in the morning. I have my affirmations. I write them on my mirror. I write them on Post-it notes. It's those things to block out those negatives, to overcome those negatives because it's so easy because we're human.
Exactly. In the environment around us also. I know you mentioned earlier before we came in here, you really do believe in that what you surround yourself with the best 5 people. If you see the 5 people around you, you can predict kind of your outcome of where you're going to land, right? For sure.
It makes a difference because their mindsets are contagious.
Yeah.
Their thoughts, their behaviors, all those things are contagious. So the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most, that's what you're going to pour out. So if it's negative, when you open your mouth, that's what's going to come out. If it's positive, if it's uplifting, that's what's going to come out. So if you ever see a change in yourself, start evaluating, hey, what have I done? Who is around me? Who am I around? What am I putting into me? Because, I mean, that can be music, TV, social media. All of those things play a part as to how we show up as a person every day.
I love that. And so if you guys out there watching or even watching later, it is a really great exercise to be reflective on, especially if you are complaining, and that could be even the smallest of things. That if you are complaining, we know complaining equals garbage magnet. So you're bringing in more complaining, more negativity, and you have to stop it for yourself. And that's not always easy because complaining is a habit and gratitude is a habit. And so put some gratitude in. Notice your words and what you're saying. And you cannot control the first thought.
Nope.
It's going to happen. And you can recognize it and control the second thought to bring yourself out of the habit and get more into positivity and gratitude because more abundance will come to you.
Yes. I am a huge believer of we live in the world in which we speak.
Yeah.
And I have a gratitude journal that I started last year. And every day when I'm mindful of, because I have to get better control of my days because it's summertime for the kids.
Yeah.
But I would wake up and I would write in my gratitude journal 3 things I'm grateful for. 3 things I want to get accomplished that day. And because I am a spiritual person, I'll have a Bible scripture in there.
Okay.
It's those things. And looking at it every day. Every day as I'm doing it. And people I'm grateful for, things I'm grateful for, because that's a great way to start the mindset of your morning. And that'll control your day. But if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you're doing is turning on the news or you're picking up your phone and you're scrolling, you're checking emails, your day will look like that.
Oh, and it'll take you off into another abyss, okay? It absolutely will. I like that, and that's that discipline, and that shows up. And so I got a lot of great nuggets that I know that if you're watching, just even the gratitude journal, the top 3 big rocks you want to get done during the day, and your spiritual edification around that is a habit that can change the trajectory of even just how you feel and your energy,
Yes.
right? Your energy comes before you. People feel your energy before you get to them. And that could be no energy, right? And so it affects everyone around you. And I love that you were like, it's 9:00 and she has got it. We're on to the next adventure. And I really enjoyed having a chat today. I know you guys enjoyed getting to know Winnie more if you didn't know her. And those that already know her know, because you are like, your tribe is your tribe and they know you well. Anyway, we are just glad to have you. You embody a lot of the millionaire real estate agent and the culture pieces of KW in being learning based and self mastery. So if you haven't seen Winnie in the office, check her out. She's actually across the hall from the social media podcast studio. You'll know which room is hers. It's yellow. So always you have an open door policy a lot. You love helping people and answering questions and paying that back from what was given to you.
Definitely.
Sure.
I'm grateful for everyone that has and will pour it into me. So, yes. So, I believe in paying it back, because why not?
Well, listen, if you're not in the office already watching this, if you're at home, know that Kathy Love is right now fixing an amazing breakfast for Forgotten Father's Day, but it's for everyone.
Yes.
So come in and enjoy that, because I know she spent the weekend putting a lot of that together, and it looks fabulous. It's French toast, okay, and other things. But I thank you so much, Winnie.
Thank you for asking me to do
You're
this.
welcome. You're welcome. It was my pleasure. You guys have a great week.
Bye, guys.